Alrighty, welcome back to episode number 4 of Late Night Hot Pot. This week's a little bit different because, as you can see, we are virtual, and Eddie's actually just woken up, but he won't be joining us for today's podcast. He's down in Montgomery, USA, something like that. And so, yeah, we're basically going to start off this week talking about balancing fitness in our 20s. So, pass it off to Zoe, and we'll get started.
I love this. This is totally giving like Zoom call era of like COVID
Back
and
in
yeah.
uni, y'all go and
Dude,
discuss
did
the problem and
ass.
come back and tell us the answer. Yeah, that's
And
it.
this grainy ass video if you're watching
Yeah,
this on YouTube, I guess.
yeah, we
But
got no gear
hello.
yet.
I know it's only the progressions will get better from here. As you can
That's
probably
right.
tell, our outfits are so different now because we're in different parts of the world. This is the international
Yes.
version
So tell us
of
where you are at the moment.
so I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's currently like 32 degrees out. I have my AC
Damn, bro.
blasting.
Bruh.
It's
Bruh.
6:30 p.m., but the sun is
Hmm.
still up, which I'm very grateful for.
Really?
Um,
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
it's
I'm mown
like I'm
hard,
like
bro. Bro, I got up this morning, it was like 8 degrees. And I was like, fuck, I gotta like leave the house and go help John move. So, yeah.
that's so fair. Nah, I'm definitely more of a summer person. I feel like I'm so much more like energetic, and I'm just like,
Mm.
oh, I love wearing summer clothes. It's like all
You're
my
like a
linen
plant,
clothes
bro. Freaking
back out.
photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis, because my palms and my feet they get cold really easily, especially like in
Mm,
the winter months. But
right.
I'm like fine in the heat.
Yeah.
I take like a 30-degree day over like a 3-degree day, like any day.
Yeah.
Except though, running is hard in this heat, I have to say.
That's fair. You got to get up before the sun comes out. Otherwise, you're just gonna get torched, man.
Basically, even now it's really hot because I wanted to do a run like this week, but I was just like, nah.
Nah.
I just walked. I just walked, but I got some steps in, so that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Okay. How was the hike?
Oh, the hike is next week. So for
Oh,
context, I'll be
what?
climbing Mount Kinabalu, which is the tallest mountain in Malaysia. So that's in West
Mm,
Malaysia.
right.
It's actually going to be really cold there, apparently. So it's going to
Mm,
be from, I think the base camp is going to be 6 to 15 degrees, which is similar
okay.
to the temperature of
Yep.
Blue Mountains when we went
Okay.
two
Yep.
weeks ago.
Right. Right.
But the
Right.
summit can reach up to 0, I think. But we're only going to stay there for a little bit because it's a
Right.
bit higher altitude. So it's
Mm,
nothing
mm,
crazy, but it's just you don't stay up there for too long.
yeah. Do you have all the gear ready?
I did some shopping today. I got a dry bag. I got some like winter, like waterproof gear because apparently it might rain and stuff.
Mm,
So that was quite exciting.
mm.
My Solomons are going to be put to use. I'm going to bring them for a walk
Damn.
again, which
Did
is
you
very
clean them
nice.
already? Bro, they were brown last time.
They were very tragic. So I got white Solomons because they were the ones on sale and they look very cute, but they
Yeah.
literally are the same color of like mud. But
Mm.
I love,
I wouldn't go
well,
that.
eh,
I mean, yeah, they were pretty brown, but like maybe like coffee, no? I feel
maybe
like
coffee. Coffee is
okay,
nicer.
okay.
It's a latte color. We
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
bro. Mine's like
It's
dark
giving.
brown, man. Especially if it's like hella wet. Like, yeah,
I
that's pretty bad.
know. How was the experience for your hike? So for context, we brought Jeremy to a first like
My lord,
proper
my
hike
lord. Yeah,
two
so we went
weeks ago.
hiking. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I basically got baited into going onto this like Arcturix hike, which was like 14 k's and like 500 meters elevation, and we went from was it Medlow Baths? Was it?
Yeah, it's one of the suburbs in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah. Anyways, it was like really it was cold as that day, and then it was like super foggy, and then we rocked up. Like we had to leave from like Gordon at like 6:30 or whatever, and then get to the Blue Mountains. Oh no, was it actually like 7? Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Around there,
Uh,
yeah.
got to Blue Mountains about 8:30, and then I was like, oh my god, bro! Like we started walking, and then like straight away it was just off trail, and then I was like, man, like the amount. It sounds a little bit like, all right, you're such a baby, but I was like, I'm not used to this level of terrain. I've never tried before in my life. Like maybe like a 30-minute walk at Watson's Bay with my dad when I was a kid. I was like, yo, I am so out of my element, so out of my comfort zone. It's not funny, bro. I am a city boy, bro. I want to stay on the streets. Like I was like, yo, I don't know where I am. Like this, like reception was fine, but I was like, oh my god, I was like literally like 200 meters behind, and I was like walking like super carefully. Like I was like, I don't want to like roll my ankle, do anything stupid, blah blah blah. And so I was like, man. So anyways, that hike was crazy. I was like, there was one point in time where I was literally like like climbing with my hands and feet, like it was literally vertical like this, and I was like, oh my, like yeah, definitely. I don't know if I'm gonna do that again, to be honest. Though.
So hiking's not on your list to do's for your activities for the year?
I mean, it was fun to do just to cross off the bucket list, but like I wouldn't say that hiking is like my go-to. Like, like I don't think I would. Oh, that's my go-to for fun. Yeah.
That's so fair. I guess for context, we can talk about what sort of fitness activities I've kind of been doing to the year to like segue. Hiking is like one of
Mm,
those things. I feel like it's great
mm,
to do in the colder months because it's
mm.
not great to go to hiking when you're all like gross and sweaty and like carrying gear in the summertime. So
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect winter segue. But
Mm,
interesting fun fact about all three of us is that we actually all met through running.
mm.
I would say like Jeremy is almost like the catalyst of this whole thing, at least for me, in the sense
Yeah.
where you signed up for your Hawk half. Like,
Mm.
was it last year?
I signed up, yeah, towards the end of last year for this year's soccer half. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was kind of just like, "Oh my God, you should totally sign up to do this running thing with me." I signed up with one of
Mm,
my friends.
mm.
Come do my long runs with me and stuff like that. And I was a little bit iffy because I was like, "Oh, I haven't really ran. Like, I run
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
casually, like a 5K like once a month."
Yeah. Okay. I
And
mean,
it's
you
like usually
did.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
friends. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Well, obviously, you haven't done it since like high school, right? Didn't you? When you're running, when you're doing A levels and stuff.
Yeah. I did track in high school, but that was like shorter distances, like the 100 and 200 meter dash. 400
Right.
meters was as long as I did. There
Right.
was like the cross country we did for school, but that was like a 5K, and that was
Your
done
cross
like once a
country was a
year.
5K. What?
Is that a long thing?
I
I heard
swear our
like you
cross
guys
country
did.
was like 3K. 5K
I
seems like
heard
a
some people
lot.
did the Bay Run. I think some people did the Bay Run for their cross country.
7Ks for cross country.
I
Primary
think
school?
so. I don't know. I like in high
No.
school, not primary school, high school.
It might be possible. I don't know, man. You gotta fact check it, but like that seems like a lot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now my cross country was in high school, but that was kind
Mm,
of like the start. I think that's why like I was scared because I think in my head I was like, oh,
mm,
I've only done sprints. I never did
mm,
like short bursts of activity. I don't know if
mm.
my endurance is that
Right.
good.
Right.
So
Right.
I was a bit like scared because I feel like
Okay.
there's also that thing where like a lot of people who are have already who signed up for these events are all like pretty
Hmm.
seasoned runners, and I feel like oh, like
Right.
I didn't
Right.
qualify to
Yeah.
sign
Okay.
up.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. I mean, yeah, I think I was just definitely just like, I kind of talked about it on the previous episode, but like, yeah, I just had mad FOMO after my sister's boyfriend ran the Cedar Surf the year before, and then I basically opened up my Instagram and I was like, oh my god, like, I have to run, and I basically just like I already had like a pair of Asics, because I did like kind of occasional running there, like every now and then, like maybe like 2Ks, and then I was like, I just put on my Asics and I went for a 1K run the next day after the Cedar Surf. And then the day after it was like 2Ks, the day after it was 3Ks, the day after it was 4Ks. And I kind of just like went like that on a linear progression. And then I remember going to work when I was still working at the job that I just resigned from, and I was like, like my manager at my old work is like a pretty serious like runner and cyclist, and so he's like super wholesome guy. Like he's in, he's like I don't know how old he is. Like he's got kids. He's got like teenage kids, but he's pretty serious about running and cycling. And I was like, man, like I feel like I could just go run a 10K like tomorrow. But then he was like, oh, like you gotta, like just calm down. Like like you can only like kind of go up by like 10% each week. And so I was like, I don't want to go out and like injure myself. Kind of just getting a little bit too trigger happy and like being like, oh my god, like I'm getting endorphins from running and like you know Strava kudos and go and run a 15K
Not the
totally
Strava.
unprepared. So it's all the Strava, man. It's just like pushing me to run. We can break that down as well, but like
So did your manager get you to start running, or did Strava get you to start running?
well, I think it was just like the FOMO of like, oh my god, like everyone is doing Sea to Surf and I need to do it as well, otherwise I'm gonna miss out. But yeah, obviously there was that like challenge that we had when I was like VSA president 5 years ago, and we used Strava to actually record that challenge, and so I already kind of knew what Strava was, and yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely like a community thing because running doesn't appeal to many people on its own, but I think it's because
yes,
it's such a communal thing. Like,
yes,
because there is something like there's some camaraderie that's like built when you suffer
Yeah.
together in a sport, and you
Yeah.
build a lot of sportsmanship when you do it, even though it is
Yeah.
an individual sport.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice because you're not really there's like you can be competitive, but it's almost like you against yourself. So it's not so much like
Mm,
that sort of like team rivalry sort of vibe that you
mm,
get in high school a lot with a lot of like team
yeah.
sports like volleyball or like
Yeah. Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
team sport, you know?
No, for sure. I
Um,
think in general, like the community for running is huge, and I think it's something where like not just in Sydney, but it's just taking, it's just kind of catching fire everywhere. I feel like there's run clubs like everywhere. There's like you just scroll on your Instagram feed, and it's definitely the algorithm as well because of the content that I kind of like and watch. But yeah, there's like run clubs all over the world. Sabai Sabai Run Club in Thailand, and there's so many in Sydney. Unofficial Run Club here in Sydney, which is the biggest one. And we've obviously been to quite a few, and so yeah, I think it's something that where community is really important in terms of like pushing that space and kind of making people want to kind of live an active lifestyle. And yeah, I think like Strava and instant gratification, we can kind of break it down, but like not gonna lie, bro, like if I couldn't put that on Strava, like I don't like
you
I don't
wouldn't be
know,
a runner if it
like
wasn't
I
on
don't know,
Strava,
like
guys. You
but I'm
hear it
like
here first.
if I wasn't recording it and I wasn't getting kudos for it, like I honestly don't reckon I would be
Which is
right.
fair, because at least like there's some sort of like motivation to at least get you started, even if it
Mm,
is like external at the moment. But
yeah.
I guess like for sustainability or for the long term, like if you want to continue running, it needs to
Mm,
shift like internally. But I think it's okay that like
mm,
the external thing is what drives you to start, because it's a
mm,
lot of things that kicks off people's like fitness journeys, right? It could be like, oh, like
mm,
I want to look good for I think
mm,
for me, it's like how I really got into fitness is like, I think first of all, school, like clubs and everything, but I
mm,
think towards the end, it was like, oh, like I want to look good for like my formal, like my prom and
mm.
everything. That kind of like got me, at least that got me into like the gym, like the weightlifting
Right,
gym
right.
outside of like clubs and societies and sports and stuff.
Was this in high
But
school?
this was in high school, yeah. Like I was like
Yeah.
16, 17 maybe.
Okay, okay.
And at least like for girls and stuff, I feel like the gym wasn't as popular, but I think like the guys had a massive like gym bro phase like around that time. I think
Mm.
that starts off for a lot of people.
Shout out Adam
Um,
Noah.
oh my God, yes, yes. Oh my God, you remember who he
Of
is?
course,
Yeah,
bro. I remember
that's
them all, man. Don't even.
crazy. So this is like
That's
for
it, bro.
context, this is like my high school back here in KL before like I moved to Australia,
Man
but
was
it's so
jacked,
funny.
man. Yeah.
He'll be very glad to hear it if he hears
Adam, my
this.
guy,
Hello,
Adam Noah.
Adam. um,
Yeah.
no, but the whole running thing is crazy because I feel like fitness and all has just evolved so much, like
Mm,
over the years, like 16 versus now, like we're 25, almost turning 26.
mm,
That's kind of crazy.
yeah.
But just recapping like the whole running journey, I definitely agree with the run clubs because Malaysia's starting to have them now. I
Oh,
thought like it
really?
would never fly here because of how
Really, bro?
ridiculously hot it
All right.
is.
Okay,
But
okay.
there's literally like a run club that happened like on Sunday morning that I low key would have
Okay.
gone because one of my old friends went,
Yeah.
but I was away for like a glamping trip, so I ended up going.
Right.
But it's
Right.
pretty popular, and people like
Mm,
their marathons and stuff that are happening here too.
yeah.
I think it's just like the whole people are just catching on. I feel like there's this whole wave of like health and fitness. People
Mm,
prioritize that way more
mm.
these days. Maybe it was because like an after effect because of COVID or like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, for sure. I
Um,
think a lot of people started, at least in Sydney, like during COVID, either running or cycling, because there was literally nothing to do, and like you weren't really allowed to leave the house other than like exercise and buying groceries. And so, I think it's something where just a ton of people just kind of took it up out of boredom. And so,
yeah, it's kind of nice though. I feel like also because it's technically the entry point is like free.
mm,
Whoever said running is a free
technically,
sport though, technically it starts off
it's
free, and then you
free.
start investing in like
Yeah.
everything else, and you're just like, no, it's not gonna
You need
fly.
carbon fiber shoes.
Oh my
You
God.
need all the gear. You need need the tights. You need the Oakley Sunnies.
The Oakleys,
That's it,
the
man.
Garmin,
The Garmin.
the
Oh my
Strava
god, let me start on the Garmin,
subscription,
man. Yeah, it's gonna set you
the
back a
gear
thousand
you want,
bucks.
cuter running clothes.
Yes, no, 100%, man. Like it definitely ain't free, but we're here. We're on the journey.
Nah.
So yeah.
100%. But honestly, if it wasn't for you signing up for your Haka and you like trying to get me to start running, I don't
Mm,
think I would have signed up for the Nike After Dark.
mm,
Also because one of my friends, Celestine,
mm,
who I met through one of like my boxing classes, like
mm,
she did a half marathon last year and she started
mm.
from ground zero too. So
Yeah.
I think seeing
Shout
the
out
Nike
Celestine.
After Dark like
Hmm.
ads,
Yeah.
shout out to Celestine.
All
She's
the
one
way
of
to
my
Singapore,
besties
man.
who's
We love
from
you.
Singapore. I know.
We
She
miss
did
you.
like
We
two
miss you a
half
lot.
last year.
Yeah.
I know.
No, for
She
sure.
honestly, because as a girl, obviously, like the training methods are different, but seeing her like
Mm,
start from like absolutely not running to being able to complete like two halves,
yeah.
was like super inspiring. And I just checked
Yeah.
her like, oh my God, is 3 months enough? I guess for the
No,
Nike
for
After
sure.
Dark, that was a women's only run.
Yeah.
And a lot, it was like kind of very, it gave off like the vibe where it was very beginner friendly. Like I feel like a
Mm.
reason why like a lot of the existing half marathons scared me was because they've been around for a long time. The people
Yeah.
who join them are typically people who have joined multiple times or
Mm.
have been training for a while. But
Yeah.
the Nike After Dark just gave off the vibe where it was like very beginner friendly. It
Mm.
was like women focused.
Yeah.
It seemed like just fun. Like the
No, 100.
marketing really got to
Bro,
me.
it was like a rave, bro. There was like DJs pumping, like there was so many people. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm at a festival, you know? So, no, definitely a lot of
100%.
yeah.
And the fact that it was like after dark kind of made it cool as well. Like,
Mm.
I love the messaging
Like glow in
behind
the
it was
dark.
like,
Yeah.
no, like, I think the whole messaging behind it was like, women were like running in the dark because they could, because obviously like women's safety
Yeah.
across the
Okay.
world.
Okay.
Like sometimes people
Yeah.
are running away from like
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha.
just safety reasons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
could, they
For
might
sure.
be have to get home safe or like whatever.
Mm.
So, but this one's like,
Mm.
oh, we're taking back our power to
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
freely in the night. And I think it was a
Yeah.
really cool message that they did.
Yeah.
Um, and I also got some friends to sign up with me, like one of my uni friends and
Yeah.
my work friend. And
Yeah.
I met other people who were doing it too. And it just
Yeah.
goes to show, like, I used to think run clubs were a little bit gimmicky, but
Yeah.
after being part
In
of this
what
whole
sense?
running thing, I don't know.
What
It's
do you
just
mean
like
by gimmicky? Yeah.
I think because like it's so flashy. I don't know if that's the right
Mm.
word. Like people just like it's very
Culty?
loud, not maybe a bit cultivated. Like it's very
Okay.
loud on social media. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay. Okay.
are people?
Yeah.
But I
There's
guess
a lot of
people run
pressure.
for different reasons. Yeah, like you don't
Mm.
like you can run to just because you enjoy. You can run because you like Strava. You can run because you like the running gear. You can run
Mm.
because you want to meet people. Like
Endorphins.
I
Yeah.
think it was just yeah. Not now. I'm like way more open to it. I think before that
Mm.
maybe it was just because like my perception of it was like very different. But now I've actually gone to the events. Maybe I was being judgmental. I apologize.
Mm. That's
I
okay.
take back my
That's
judgment of
okay.
being
That's
judgy
okay. That's
about
fine.
the
That's fine.
community.
Yeah.
But I met like really lovely people, and honestly, like
Mm.
a lot of the people we hang out with, like
Mm. Mostly
recently,
through,
like
yeah, exactly, through fitness and or running,
yeah,
run clubs, mutuals. Yeah. It's all kind of in the
100%.
health space. Yeah.
And it's so nice, like to hang out with friends is to go for a run and grab like an amazing feed after because it's
Yeah.
like you kill like two birds with one stone where like you've done like your exercise for the day and like you've
Yeah.
met your
Yeah.
friends because it's so
Yeah.
hard to as adults it's so hard to arrange time to see people but if you're
Mm.
both training for a marathon and you need to get your long run in it's perfect time to have your
Mm.
yap sesh in your VO2 max zone or
Your
whatever it's called
VO2 max, bro.
and
Zoe's
just get
schooling
your
up
run
on
in.
the VO2 max.
Learn it from Jeremy. I can't take credit for it. I was educated by
Oh
Jeremy.
my lord.
I'm
Anyways,
also
no,
very much a beginner in this running space like
yeah. No, me too, bro.
um
Don't even. I haven't even done a half, bro. Don't play me like that, bro.
no. But honestly, you're such like a good rallier to get people to get together to run because I feel like that's like the
Mm.
whole part. But they're also like shout out to also the runners who this is their alone time. I know people who also just like
Mm.
to
Just
run
run
in
solo, yeah.
solitary.
Yeah, for
Yeah, because
sure.
like that's like their me time. They get to like just clock off
Mm.
and like not talk. Also, like trying to yap while running is also not everybody's
Bro,
cup
I've
of
been
tea. It
yapping
is
myself
very
into zone 4, man. I'm like, yo, what's
oh
happening?
my
Why is my heart rate like
god.
185, bro? I was like, bro, I'm just talking too much or what? Or I'm just
Oh
unfit.
my god, I remember that one. But it's good
Oh.
for if you're as a beginner personally, I found it really this is someone who just enjoys a good yap. I enjoy
Mm.
yapping while running
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
just takes my
Me
mind
too.
off how hard it is.
100%.
And it makes
100%.
it enjoyable, and then
It makes it
slowly build
easier,
up the
right?
endurance.
Yeah. Well, we're
Yeah,
just
because you
bro,
can
we're
really
just
notice a difference.
yeah, we're just talking
Sorry, you go,
away,
you
and then
go.
all. No, I was just saying, like, we're just literally just yapping, talking away with our group, and then all of a sudden, like, all right, I ran an hour and a half, and I've run like
14K is
friggin'
done. Where did the
14Ks,
time go?
15Ks, whatever it is, like, dude, like, dead set. So, no, I'm definitely for it. I think we just wanted to add on to your point. Like, I feel like running for me as well. It's been like obviously still on the journey, but like I think coming from my background of like previously going out a lot and like going to nightclubs, and that was kind of my thing. It was like running as an avenue to be able to meet people and just like kind of connect with people on a deeper level, and something that's wholesome and something that's kind of like not degenerate per se. Um, and this kind of allowed me to develop to develop friendships that are healthier and kind of like in a space that I want to kind of move towards. I think it's something where I've always wanted to be fit and healthy, but I've always kind of been like, oh, it's whatever. Like I just kind of neglected, like, I need to run, I need to go to the gym, I need to, do all these things. But once you're kind of in that space and you're around people that are into running, into lifting, into doing triathlon or into doing high rocks, it's like, you're just going to become more like them. And so I think it's just been great kind of the running has kind of been the gateway to like overall improvement in health and fitness for me. And as someone who previously in the past just completely neglected like my health and fitness and was like, that's something I just don't care about. Like I lived such a sedentary lifestyle before. I was like, I was like such a couch potato. I'm just like at home watching YouTube videos or whatever. Yeah, it's been something where I feel like it's just opened up so many new friendships for me and just allowed me to move towards the healthy lifestyle that I've always wanted, but just didn't really have the motivation to kind of pursue. Yeah.
He's a retired party animal now, guys. He's now a runner. You heard it here first. He no longer
Don't do me
runs the
like that, bro.
BSA. He runs
Bro.
the Bay Run now. Okay. No, but it's great though. It's like balance, right? As we get
Yeah.
older, it's like
Yeah.
these things kind of matter. Like if you don't establish healthy habits now, it's like
Mm.
you might have to pay the price in like medical bills or like something like
Yeah.
later on down the line
Yeah.
too. And I think it's like
No, for
totally
sure.
valid. And I love it's kind of like in a way like building social like healthy social community like post
Mm.
university as well because
Mm. Mm.
in university, these like large communal spaces where you just meet up
Mm.
regularly were just like
Yep.
pre-built into your
Yep.
schedule. But like
Yep.
now as adults, like we don't really have that.
Love
Everyone
that.
has your own schedule, but
Yep.
it's so much harder to align time for
Mm.
everyone's free. But
Yep.
because health and fitness is a priority for a lot of people now, it's kind of nice how you
Mm.
can like align that with your social activities too. And I totally back that. I feel like this marathon training, I have drank a lot less because it sucked like having
Like
to run on a
alcohol?
day. Yeah, because
Okay. Yeah.
it sucked having to like do a long run or even like any
Mm.
sort of run like after like
Yeah.
feeling a little bit
For
sluggish or like
sure, bro. It's gonna
hungover.
destroy your sleep. Like the sleep quality that night's gonna be atrocious. Then if you got to get up and run the next day as well, dehydrated, hungover, it's just not a good recipe for feeling good.
100%. And it's just like I wake up, I'm naturally a night owl, but
Mm,
in the summertime, I could get away with like doing my runs like after work, but since daylight
mm,
savings, it's like, oh, but even on the weekend, it's nice to get a run in, like especially your long runs, which could take a while to get
mm,
them done like early in the morning. So it like forces you to like wake up earlier.
yeah.
And like, I never thought I would be the person to wake up at 5 a.m. on a freaking like Saturday or Sunday to like do a sunrise run. But I
Yeah.
can say that I have done that like once or
Yes.
twice now.
Yes,
And
for
it's
sure.
actually really rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember when,
it's
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, remember when we went to Runfly and then there was like we rocked that was like 6 a.m. and the moon was still out. Like
It was still
full
dark.
moon. I was like, oh my god, like what is going on? I was like, my brain was actually wigging out. I was like, Runfly and Unofficial, the two ones that we got up to get there at like 6:30. I was like, oh my god, like I woke up and like in theory, bro, you might think this sounds stupid, but in theory, I was like, okay, it's gonna be dark. But then I woke up I was like the night before, I was like, all right, obviously it's gonna be dark when I wake up. But like I woke up, I'm like, shit, it's actually dark. It's like I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like this, like my
It's
brain is
so
like wigging
jarring.
out. It's literally like just confused. It's like when I step off the treadmill at the gym and I'm like, oh my god, like
I'm like,
your
the floor
brain's like,
doesn't move.
yeah, yeah, and you're like dizzy, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like my brain is trying to calibrate like what's going on. So
It's
yeah,
natural though, because your circadian rhythm is tuned to wake up to sunlight. So the fact that you wake
yeah,
up and it's not bright
even
is
before,
like
yeah,
your body is just like
feels
weirded
weird. Yeah,
out too, because
yeah,
it thinks it's still nighttime and you should probably still sleep.
right,
So
right,
yeah.
yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Well, let's come back to kind of this conversation in terms of like balancing fitness in our 20s. Obviously, you ran the Nike women's half. I don't know if you want to say the time, but obviously you smashed the time that you were going for. Definitely underestimated yourself. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to?
No, you're too
No.
kind, but I think because I hear horror stories too. Like literally when I signed up and like because the registrations kicked off like 3 months before the actual race. So this
Mm-hmm.
is about January, I think. And I think I was like, this year, like, let's try something new because
Mm-hmm.
post quarter life crisis, I was like, okay, let's just like try new
Post quarter
hobbies.
life
Figure.
crisis. Aren't we still in the quarter life crisis? I didn't
We
know we
are
were
still in
post
the
yet.
quarter life crisis,
We're
but it's
still in the
slightly
quarter
better
life
now because
crisis.
we
Okay,
have,
okay.
we're doing new things,
We're doing
but
new things. We got the pod. Yeah, that's it. We got a great bunch of friends. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, keep
it's
going.
vibes.
Yeah.
Nah, but
Okay.
like, so me and one of my really close friends, Carol, I was like, oh my
Mm.
God. She's my like yes friend. I was like, are you crazy enough to sign up to this
Mm.
Nike half with
Carol's a
me? Or
full
like,
sender, bro. She's the biggest full sender in our
dude,
group.
it is. I mean, we said we wanted to like try new things and like grow as people like this year. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is the
Let's
sign.
go.
Do you
Let's
want to do
go.
the thing you have with
Let's
me?
go.
And
Yeah.
she was like, fuck, like we are crazy, but let's just
Mm.
freaking do it. So we signed up.
Mm.
The I think the barrier of entry was like low too, because it was $100. You get like a free t-shirt, you get a sports bra. It's
Mm.
like
Dude,
it's a
y'all
pretty good
basically made your
deal.
money back, man.
I
Y'all
know. And we
basically
got a
made
hoodie.
money.
No, and then we bought the hoodie where it was $110
Oh,
and they
really?
made their money
Okay.
back. They
Yeah.
got us
Okay.
with the
Okay.
merch, but yeah,
That's fair. That's
I'm very
fair.
happy with that purchase.
Bro,
Um,
when we went to AP Bakery on the weekend, basically we were like lining up. The line was so long to get the free puffs. Anyways, we waited for like 15, 20 minutes. And when we got to the front of the line, John was there. And then
do they
there was
say
like
sold out?
no, basically, yeah. So they actually were sold out of the puffs, and like, oh, we only got chocolate croissants. I was like, all right, it's fine. Like, I'll take the chocolate croissant. Anyways, there was like one girl who was like at the cash register, and she was like taking the orders of like what you want. Anyways, there was like the business owner who I think he owns AP Bakery, and then he kind of eyeballed John and was like, oh, so what size do you want? And he's like, oh, you look like an XL. And all of a sudden, John was like trying on the shirt, and then he bought it, and then after like we left, like it all happened within like 2 minutes, and he's like, shit, man, like I wasn't even trying to like I wasn't even trying to buy a shirt. I just got
It's marketing.
yeah,
It's sales. It's
I
sales. It's not
know.
marketing. It's sales.
They're giving you the free pastry, but they're like, nah, you gotta buy the t-shirt as well. That's how they
Oh
get
my
you, man.
God. It's pretty smart. But the t-shirt looks pretty good though,
It
so
is
I
good.
think
I
that's
like the
gonna
design. It's
fly.
good design and like minimalistic, $33. I think like, I would buy it, but like I wasn't there to buy a shirt, so I was like, yeah.
Honestly, all these freaking like bakeries, all these sportswear brands, all these shoe brands like hosting run clubs and getting people to
Mm,
try their shoes and come to
mm.
these events is such a smart marketing ploy
Genius, man.
because
Yeah.
yeah, it's because it puts the product like right in front of them and they see them in use. Or like
Right.
you like after the run, like you consume the pastry or like you
Right.
use the shoe when you're running. It's actually so smart because a lot of times like marketing is just like on the screen or like you haven't actually seen the physical product yet or you haven't
Mm,
get to experience it in
mm,
whatever like activity you need to use it in.
right.
So it's like the big move. I feel like this is a sidetrack, but like all
Mm,
businesses who are in like the activewear space like need to like
mm,
jump on this like community
mm.
bandwagon because I feel like it's generating so much like organic
Don't
growth within
don't
brands.
don't say too much, bro. You're a consultant, man. You gotta charge. Like they're gonna pay you money for
Okay,
this,
true,
man.
true, true.
We're,
I'm a
we're
software
gonna
engineer by
kind of
profession, but definitely, if you want to hit me up for your marketing,
future
I can do
consultant,
that
man. Hit
too.
her up, man.
Oh my god.
Oh
No.
man. Okay.
But I totally hear it though. Like I think like Nike's ploy to like it's definitely
Mm,
like position themselves in the running space because it's such a growing market now and a lot
mhm.
of other brands are definitely like overtaking them.
Yeah.
But this whole thing I think really kickstarted like running for a lot of people and it's just the community because at least for a girl I
Mm.
feel like I'm way more likely to join something where like other girls do it too. And it's just like if
Mm.
you're able to build friendships for it.
Yep.
Another side note is like when I was at my previous like boxing gym, they're kind of like,
Mm.
oh, like what motivates you to come to classes regularly? And honestly, like a
Mm.
big proponent was like
Mm.
it was a good way to catch up with my friends. Like I actually
Yep.
made like a good girl group like from going
Mm.
to that gym as well. And it's
Yep.
just
Yep.
we're still pretty close today. We hang out pretty like
Mm.
frequently. We travel together.
Yep.
And the thing where like it bonds people with similar lifestyles and like similar like goals is actually
Mm.
so true. And it's actually just more
Mm.
likely to hang out again because you just like have regular things.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
but linking back to the fitness journey thing, I guess it's like I don't know. I think I've always enjoyed being active. Like I was big on sports in high school. I did track and cheerleading.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I did more like ball sports, like maybe netball or like
Baseball.
volleyball.
Oh, volleyball. Okay. All right. Yep.
I don't know if I'd be good at baseball.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know
But like
what kind of ball sports you're talking. Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
or like or like taking like badminton a bit more seriously. Like I played it like for
Mm.
fun or like
Yeah.
tennis and stuff. My mom was really good at ping pong too, which is table
Badminton,
tennis.
as Eddie would say.
Badminton.
Badminton, bro.
Badminton.
It's not badminton, bro.
Oh
It's
my god.
badminton.
Badminton.
We love
But
you, Eddie. We miss you.
yeah.
Gotta let him know.
um oh, I played basketball very briefly in primary school, but I stopped
Mm.
playing in like high school.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I just miss like the sports day thing, like when
Mm-hmm.
everyone's like around cheering you on. So like the Nike half marathon felt like a
Mm.
massive like sports day for me. But in terms of like having friends come support and like you actually
Mm.
finishing your thing, you get a medal and it's like you
Yeah.
finish and you feel like super
We
accomplished
had
and
the
it's just like
sign, bro. We
a
had
full
the
day
best
block
sign
effort.
there, bro.
I
Come
know that
on,
was so
bro.
sweet.
Y'all
I
gotta
was
check
so
out. Y'all
touched.
gotta check out my Instagram, Jeremy Tan with 2 A's, bro. Go and watch. Go and watch the reel on Nike Half, man. Like that's my favorite short that I produced. That's when the content journey started. So yeah, go and check it out, man. Like yeah, I don't think
It all
no
started
one's been that
very
sign, bro.
scientific for me.
That's it.
His
Nike
tagline
Half.
was really good. He wrote like you're running faster than Sydney trains because
That's
Sydney
it, bro.
public transport is notorious for our delays.
That's
So
it, bro. Bro, at the half, Eddie was like, "Yo, so what's up with Sydney trains? Are like they're like slow or something?" I was
he
like,
didn't
I
know
was
like
like,
what
I was
it
like,
meant.
I was like, I was like, I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, I catch the bus. Yeah,
Oh my god, which is valid. But for context,
yeah,
like Sydney trains just delay all the time, so you might be better off running to your destination
yeah.
and the odd
That's
time
it.
it goes off.
Yeah, Eddie was
But
like, man, like, I don't know if I can actually slant it, bro. Like, I had the sign. He's like, yo, like, I'm an immigrant, man. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to get deported.
I'm crying. That's so funny. That's so funny. No, but it really helped. I feel like because I've had running's a lot of a mental game too, where it's like, oh my God, like your
Mm,
mind maybe gives up before your body does,
yep,
or
for
like
sure.
your body actually has. Honestly, the human body does a fucking lot, so you can actually push it to its
We're
limits
very
pretty well.
resilient,
But
man. Yeah.
it really is. But the cheering during like the
Just
different
David
intros that can
Goggins that
definitely
shit.
it
Mm.
definitely just made me like, oh my god, I can't slow down now. It's like people are cheering me
Yeah.
on. I can't disappoint them. And it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like it really gave you a boost of energy. So you're feeling really sluggish before. It really gave
Mhm.
you like that much the extra push to just keep going or like to not slow
Mm.
down.
Mm.
But I guess going back to like how it all started, like we signed up for the marathon. It was like, oh my god,
Half
we
marathon.
gotta go. Yeah, for this start, for this half marathon, like we
Yeah.
gotta go train together because
Mm.
um we only had 3 months to do it, and I was
Mhm.
back in Malaysia for Chinese New Year for about like a month. So I had
Mm.
like 2 and a little bit months to train, and I was a
Mm.
bit stressed, not gonna lie. So I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, sign me up for all the runs you're doing. Let's do all these run clubs, like whatever, whatever to like not to let me finish this half. Like my whole goal
Yeah.
was to like finish. Like I didn't have a
Yeah.
time. I had a
Yeah.
rough ballpark. I think I wanted to finish like two
Mm.
and a half hours.
Mm.
And I
Bro,
was doing it like super
tell us your
happy.
time proudly, bro. You fucking smashed that time, bro. Come on.
I
Give it for
I
the
finished
viewers,
in
man.
I finished in 2 hours and 11 minutes.
That's it, bro.
So
Say
that's
it proudly,
about yeah. I think I was aiming to just
man.
do like I think like pacing is like 6 minutes and 20. I
Is
was
it?
like I was gonna be super happy with like 6 minute 45 or something on average, but
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's good.
But I think that's a really rewarding thing about running is like you do it consistently, you really see the results. But
Mm,
people like personally, like, and
mm,
what I've seen with my friends who are training with me, like
mm.
overtraining is super easy too because you see your super results, you get super motivated. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna smash
Yeah,
as many
yeah,
Ks as I can this week. But if you
yeah.
increase your mileage before your body or your joints have built up the resistance to
Mm,
endure that mileage, it just
yeah,
falls apart. Like my ankles were hurting, like people's knees were hurting, people's hamstrings were hurting, people's
yeah,
like shins were just splinting, and it was like everyone had
yeah,
like a slightly different
yeah. Some
injury
kind of
that they had to
injury.
like go through. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like goes to show that like you even though like you feel great, your body still has to keep up with like how much you're
The
covering each week
mileage. Yeah, the
because
mileage, weekly mileage.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hear it to be also because the human body is not meant to run on concrete, like because
What?
we're
Really?
no, yeah, it's because like caveman days, like we had no
Mm-hmm.
roads, we just like
Mm-hmm.
were like on forests and beaches and
Right.
like those kinds of terrains like absorb impact, but like the road
Okay.
is like just straight like
Yeah, okay.
nothing's absorbing your
Yeah,
impact
okay.
except your shoes,
Gotcha.
basically.
Yeah, okay.
Learn the importance of shoes. I ditched like my 5-year-old Ultra Boosts
Yeah, bro.
for
I don't know
for
even
new
know
running
how you were
shoes.
running in those ultra boosts, man. I was like, what the fuck, so like those things are breaking apart, man. Like there's holes in them. Like,
Hey, they
oh
served
my.
me well. I was very
Okay,
emotionally
okay.
attached to those pairs of
All
shoes.
right.
I had
Five
them.
years.
I bought them.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. 5 years is good cost per wear. I'll give you that.
I know. I bought them in 2019. I was like, they still look good. The Asian in me was like, I can't throw them away,
That's
dude.
the
They're not
Chinese
broken
gene in
yet.
you, man. Yeah, exactly. If
I
it ain't
know.
broke, don't fix it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
because
you.
I couldn't tell the difference of like good cushioning until I changed my shoes. I was like, oh my God, my shoes are actually just like flat.
Mm, yeah,
Like there was
that's
like
fair.
it was providing me like absolutely no benefit. But
Yeah,
we've learned, we've made mistakes, we've learned to like not overtrain, we've learned to
yes.
hydrate, we've learned to
Mm,
eat before a run, otherwise we feel like shit.
mm-hmm.
We've learned a lot.
That's it.
We learned
Post run stretching,
post run
post
stretching.
post run swim, bro. Recovery for the mentals.
Oh, true. And just
That's
like
it.
yeah, like making sure you have like the right running wear. You're not just wearing like some
Mm,
yeah, if you don't have like right clothes, that your run's gonna suck too. I got like chafing as well because
yeah,
like certain clothes just like rub you the wrong way. And I'm like, oh my God, that sucks.
yeah,
Socks as well. You don't wear the right socks, it's just not gonna your shoe slides
yeah.
in
That's
your
it.
feet
That's
slide in
it.
your shoe.
Okay,
Like it just feels gross.
yeah. All right, let's circle it back. So I guess for me, I'll just do a little bit of a brief recap in terms of my journey. So I started by one of my mates actually kind of just baited me into signing up for the Hoka Half Marathon, which was this year. I think it was the 4th or 5th of May. Anyways, I was originally only planning on doing the City to Surf. And then I was like, kind of like, oh, like, I don't know whether like I'm ready to do a half. I was like, I don't know whether I'm just kind of like going too fast, bro. This is like literally like the same thing as when I was like, this is so degenerate, but like getting into raving, and I was like, oh, yo, like maybe I was like, maybe I'll like start with like massive, like I've heard about it, like I have some friends that have been. Anyways, like never went to
Jeremy
massive.
is a victim of peer pressure. If you
Yeah,
want
man,
him to do
that's
anything, just get a
literally me,
crew, he'll
bro.
do it.
Yeah. I was like, all right, like maybe I'll start with massive, blah blah blah. And then like I had a friend who
Not
was like,
massive.
and then I had a friend who was like going to Midnight Mafia, and then a bunch of other people were going. I was like, oh shit! Like I just went. Intrusive thoughts took over me when I was in first year uni, and I just like bought the ticket, and then that's how the raving journey started. So
The
running,
raving journey.
raving journey, bro. So pretty much the same thing except for running. And so yeah, basically bought the ticket for the Hoka Half Marathon and was training for that, and then ran up to. I was following a plan that was through Runner, the app, which is actually just I think Strava acquired Runner
Wired.
recently. Yeah. And so I was following a half marathon training plan through Runner, and then I basically was doing my long runs, and then up, I think I ran 18 Ks, and then I would basically like the day that I ran 18 Ks, one of my Sunday long runs, it was pouring down that day, and then I think the shoes that I was wearing as well weren't that good. Maybe it's like the sole, or maybe it was like the shoes that I was wearing, but I was wearing like Brooks Glycerin Maxes, and then about 12 Ks in, like I just felt my ankle kind of like just go. And then I was like, oh shit, like I heard like a clicking sound, and I was like, fuck, like it was pouring, and I was like, I still need to get home. And so I still finished the run, But then after I was like, oh no, like I think like my ankle was like fully messed up. And so basically, um, I injured my ankle doing Muay Thai a couple of years ago, and so it's something that's just like never fully recovered. And so yeah, it's something where I was like, oh shit, like I had to book in and see the physio the next day, and then yeah, obviously didn't pull through for the Hoka Half Marathon, but still allowed me to kind of make a bunch of new friends and you know um, join run clubs and do that kind of thing. But yeah, I guess we're now kind of trying to rebuild now. I've signed
He's
up for a
gonna be a
gym.
hybrid athlete, guys. He
No,
got a
bro,
bike. He
don't
got like
say
some
that.
running shorts. He got the glasses, the helmet, the
Oh
shoes.
my. So I think you might need to turn your light on, bro. It's so dark.
Okay, okay. We'll be back.
Oh my
Okay.
god, bro. I was about to
This
say,
is
bro,
my
the
childhood pet
picture
peeve.
quality is like potato right now.
I
I
was
didn't want to
like
break
realizing
I don't want to break the flow of the podcast,
no,
but I was like, oh my god. Okay,
that is
yeah,
so
keep going.
fair. Because I was like
Yeah.
staring as it got more pixelated. I was like, do I want to switch on my lights?
Oh
Shout out to
my.
the massive teddy bear that I got for my 16th birthday as well.
Ooh, what's the name? Does it have a name? No.
I named it after like my friend who got it for me, so it's Jen, Chong Gen
Oh, okay.
X. But yeah,
Chong Gen X. Shout out Chong Gen X. Yeah.
yes.
Anyways, long story short, I'm back to trying to do some like, runner-based strength training so that I can eventually work back to a half marathon. Hopefully, probably Hoka next year because I don't know any other ones other than the Hoka. And yeah, I
He's
also
doing
got like
the Sydney Marathon 10K as
okay,
well.
I'm doing the Sydney Marathon 10K, but yeah, we have Sydney Surf and Sydney Marathon 10K for me lined up, but yeah, just trying to get back into it and do a little bit of cross training as well because I just got a bike recently and doing some swimming.
Also got a
So
gym membership.
yeah, it's got a gym membership as well. So you might see some High Rocks content coming out soon.
Also, like two of my, not two, like a good chunk of my friends here, they did the High Rocks in
Mm,
Bangkok recently. So they did the
mm,
relay version, and I was like, oh my God, how was it? And I was like trying to convince
yeah.
them to
Uh huh.
come to the High Rocks in Melbourne that's happening, I think, in December.
Yeah. How many people
So we'll
in the
see.
How many people in the High Rocks relay?
Um, there were four people, so it was an all
Oh,
girls
it's
team. I'm not.
four. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. You might be able to do like co-ed, but like this
Mm,
was an all girls team, and there was like I know two sets of friends who went.
right, right. Okay. That was in
Would
Bangkok. Is
you?
there
Would
a,
you? Would
am
it
I
depends
down?
on a lot. Or would you do it a solo? I feel like you'd be down. And
I
like
gotta do a
December's a good
solo
while
one
away.
first. Yeah, bro. I don't wanna like
Yeah.
carry I don't wanna like, drag someone else down, bro. I gotta do a solo one first. Yeah.
No, I feel like doing a relay is less intense though, because you just got to focus on like your part.
Okay, that's true. I probably can't do
So
any
that
of
might
the
be a
lifting
stepping
ones.
stone.
Bro, like the sled pull and push is like 175 kilos,
Wait,
Bro,
even for
that's
girls?
I think it's standardized weight across actually I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like I was watching High Rocks the other week and I was like, "Oh my god, like it's 175 kilos." Like
Wait,
that's
surely
insane.
the people who are heavier have an advantage.
Yeah, but like obviously like rounds out cuz they have like running as well and
I guess
then
so. It's like
wall balls
1K in
and
between.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's a bunch of like ski, like there's a bunch of different ones and so it's not just like obviously they might be stronger. Like people that are heavier might have more strength in terms of pushing for the sled pull and push, but they might like lag behind in running and other facets. So
So how would you describe your journey of becoming a hybrid athlete?
bro, stop calling me a hybrid athlete. I'm not a hybrid athlete.
He's on the way to becoming a hybrid athlete.
Every single time I freaking record a new Strava activity, canoeing when I was with my family, hiking, and he just comments hybrid in full caps,
Hybrid
bro. I'm just like,
athlete?
bro, stop, man. Like, freaking embarrassing me. Oh
Nah,
my
nah, nah.
god.
You gotta collect all the Strava
Yeah,
activities.
that's it, bro. Bro, it's addicting. It's like collect a Pokemon, Like every single Strava activity, man. I'm trying to log it. So,
What's your
yeah.
favorite what's your favorite Strava activity at the moment?
Favorite Strava activity? Well, I went cycling for like the first time. It was actually my second time, but first time with the clip-in pedals with M and like some of her friends on Saturday morning, bro. Like
Nice.
I could not keep, bro. Like I rocked up, and I'd never clipped in before, and I was like, oh shit. Like M was like, oh, like I didn't realize like you hadn't like clipped in and clipped out. And I was like, oh yeah. Anyways, she was like, she kind of felt bad, but I was like, don't feel bad. like she actually organized her mate's like 25th birthday, and she was doing like they were doing like 25 laps at Centennial Park for her 25th birthday. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then she was like, oh, I don't want to miss out. And I was like, no, no, that's fair. Like you just go like ahead with your friends. And so I like watched like a 4 minute YouTube tutorial on how to clip in and clip out. And then I went up on the tree and then like practiced clipping in and clipping out. I was like, okay, I think I got this. And then I just went and rode and then got the momentum and then like clipped in. I was like, okay, like this is fine. And I waited for them to come back around. And I saw them. I was like, all right, let's go. And then I I clipped in and I started pedaling. And I was probably, honestly, I think I was with them for like less than a kilometer. And then like, I was like they were like, M was like 200 meters ahead. I was like, okay, just like, don't lose sight of her. And I was pedaling so hard. Like my heart rate was really low, but like my legs were gassed and I just could not keep up. And then I was
Mm.
like, oh, like fuck it, don't worry about it. Like I'm just gonna do like my own thing. And so I did about 9 laps, which was like about just over 26K. But like, man, like they were just cruising, and I was struggling bad. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to work on still, but I do enjoy cycling. So
No, kudos to you for starting
yeah.
because like I was gonna ask, like I have no idea what clipping in. I know that means like you're wearing your shoes, but like in terms of like actually riding, like how does that look like? Because I've
So
only
like
done clip-in shoes on like a spin bike.
it probably works similarly. Like they have like the cleats, like the shoes that
Yeah.
clip into the actual pedals, and you basically just have to start riding and then clip them in. Like you just like dig your toes into like the hole, and then it just clips in. Like you'll feel it, and then yeah,
But
like
that
it's
means you
meant.
gotta like start and like clip in immediately because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't
So
like you gotta start. You can't just like
exactly.
stop because it's like on a two-wheel
Yeah,
bike.
exactly. So it was like a bit like I messed it up at the beginning because I was trying to like clip in stationary and then start moving, but like you can't because you just like fall over. So like I figured out like I just like started to pedal even without being clipped in, and then clipped in while I was moving. Because like obviously if you're stationary, you're just gonna fall over. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
No,
the
but kudos
try.
to you for starting something new.
Thanks for giving me the kudos, bro. I love a kudos.
I'll like every single one of your
keep,
cycling posts
keep,
from now on.
keep giving me more kudos, bro. Like, I love it. I'm a fiend for the kudos.
No, but talk to me about like how like your training for running has like changed in terms of like how is that
Mm.
different from your cycling training now?
Um, well, I'm still like working back to running properly. Like, I feel like my ankle is still a little bit unstable. And I'm technically still have like a bunch of like rehab runs that my physio gave me, which I'm working on getting through. And I think the last one is like a 10K run continuous, like without any kind of jogging or walking. Um, but yeah, it's something where like I've been doing like getting back in the gym and doing squats and just trying to increase the overall strength of like my glutes, my calves, so that it can absorb the
Hybrid
force from running.
athlete.
But like it's something that's like
He
still a work in
lifts
progress.
too.
Bro, shut
He cycles too.
we need Eddie here, bro. This man would just
I
be yelling hybrid
know.
athlete like every
I
5 seconds.
know. I
Oh
know.
my
And Eddie's journey
god.
would be fun to listen to as well. But
Yeah,
we'll get him
yeah.
to explain it in the next
We'll
episode.
yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him on, man. Bro, I honestly don't know about the time frame for these next couple of weeks because he's gonna have to get up at like 6:30 in the morning to like get on, and
I can
so
do a bit later this like next week or something,
in
but we'll
time we'll
see.
figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, but no, like I'm obviously trying to get into triathlon, but like it's still like even a little bit embarrassing kind of saying it because I'm like, you know, I like I haven't done a half yet, and I'm kind of like, oh, like I do want to get into triathlon, and I do enjoy cycling, I do enjoy swimming as well, but I not a very strong swimmer, and I feel like it's something where I actually need to work on my technique. Like when I swim, I literally like feel my legs sinking. It's like my upper body just doing the whole thing. And cycling, I think it just takes time to kind of. I don't really know how to like increase your speed. I'm obviously like still completely brand new to cycling, and so yeah, like obviously it's going to take some time, and we got M our pro triathlete in the group, so who can help me out, but yeah, still a work in progress in terms of triathlon and running in general. So yeah.
No, I feel like I can totally empathize. It's like you feel like before you sign up for a race, you have to be like qualified in some sort of way. That's like some
Mm,
unspoken rule that you have to like fulfill before you actually like and able to sign up for the marathon. But
mm.
free will is great, and as long as you have the funds, you can sign up for whatever you want, honestly.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like it's so like chill to be like, oh, like if I verbalize I'm a runner, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like I'm happy to say I'm a runner. But like if I'm like I'm a triathlete, bro, like that just sounds like such
You
cap,
means you
bro.
gotta be good
I'm
in
like,
like three different
exactly, bro.
sports.
I'm like, bro, I am not a triathlete, man. Like I just like want to do triathlon, but like it just sounds so phony, at least at this point in time of the journey, to be like, yo, I'm a triathlete. So
I guess
yeah.
so. I guess so.
Mm.
But you could just do the three sports without signing up for a race too. I feel like that's like an in between. It's kind of like
Yeah.
people who run because they enjoy running, but they don't want to race for anything because they're just like
Mm,
not about that. They're just here for the mental clarity or the
yeah.
feeling or the endorphins that running essentially provides.
Yeah, that's it. So
So
still a work in progress in terms of triathlon. Like I'm obviously still at the very beginning of the journey. I do want to get into high rocks eventually, but I feel like something where I just don't want to spread myself too thin because it's like I haven't even done a half yet. Like was training for a half, getting back into it slowly. But yeah, like I don't mind because it's something I still enjoy going to run clubs and catching up with our friends and just doing stuff that's active generally. But yeah, I think like I definitely wouldn't consider myself serious in terms of like running or like cycling or triathlon or swimming or anything like that. So it's just something I want to do to keep fit and healthy. But yeah, I do want to kind of push my limits as well. Yeah.
talk to me about the weightlifting part. Like how did you get
Weightlifting,
into that?
bro. No, there's no lifting, bro. I'm just like trying to like get back into like squatting. But like, bro, I was literally like, man, remember the other week and like, oh no, I don't think you were there. But basically, oh shit, hold up. I was with Eddie and Mavis the other week, and I was like, shit, like, I'm just getting back into squatting, and I was like, I told Eddie how much I squat, and he's like, yo, for real? And then I was like, bro, how much do you squat, man? And he's like, Eddie was like thinking about it for a moment. He's like, yo, I'm gonna do some serious math on that one to tell you, bro. Anyways, Mavis was like right there, and I was like, yo, Mavis actually squats more than me, and I was just like, I was like, oh my god, but it
It's
is what it is,
okay.
bro.
We all start somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Bro, I'm
Also,
getting a bit
like
hot.
girls like training legs. Yeah,
Mm.
girls do
Yeah,
like training legs.
still work in progress, bro. I haven't been in the gym for like 7 years, essentially since I finished 7 or 8 years, essentially since I finished year 12. And so, yeah, bro, my body is feeling it, and I'm like definitely can't lift the same as I did back then, even though it's not a lot. So, yeah,
And that's okay. I feel like weightlifting is actually really healthy for like long-term
yeah,
health
strengthening
in
your
terms of
bones.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, in terms of like variation of activity, right? Because I think in at least like for girls, Pilates has been like the whole trendy thing in like the last couple
mm,
years.
mm,
But for longevity, as in like when you enter your like 40s, 50s,
yeah.
where osteoporosis and
Mm.
health
We
conditions
getting
like that.
technical. Yeah.
No, for real, because like Pilates isn't
Uh-huh.
gonna help with bone density. Like it helps with mobility. Like for me, I love
Mm.
Pilates because I feel like I sit up straighter. I'm not like hunched over my computer like this all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like at least for running, Pilates also really helps strengthen my ankles and my
Mm.
calves, and just like
Right.
my stabilizing muscles,
Calves?
right?
Calves?
My
Your
calves,
calves?
yes, my
Calves?
calves, my
Okay.
calves. That shit, the things that on the are the back of your feet, not on the back
Okay,
of your
okay,
feet,
okay.
on the
Your
lower part of
calves.
your legs,
I got
the
it, your
opposite
calves,
your
bro.
shins.
Okay,
Yes.
your calves. Okay, all right. Keep going, keep going.
Like Pilates helps with like running personally for me because I felt like I was just like so gassed after my like long run days that I like
Mm,
I guess for context, I used to do a lot of like boxer size, so think like
mm-hmm,
Rumble, if anybody know what that is, or like hustle sort of like boxing style
mm-hmm.
classes, which are basically circuit training, which are like
Shout out
hit
Rumble St.
and you
Leonard's. Yep.
that's where I met a good group of friends. So shout
Yeah,
out to Rumble of St. Leonard's. But
yeah.
I did that like maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and that was very like high
Mm,
intensity circuit training, and it was quite
mm,
different from like endurance runs, right? So it's kind of like switching gears. You're not like your heart rate isn't at 180 all the time. It's more of like at a lower rate, and you sustain
yeah,
it for like way longer.
yeah.
But then my joints and shit started hurting, like my ankles and
The joints and
my
shit. Yeah.
calves were so sore when I first started running. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like this
Yeah.
is crazy. Pilates helps a lot with that. And I think it's
Mm,
just great for like working the small muscle groups. But
mm,
weightlifting, you need to train your large muscle groups. So like
mm,
your compound lifts, like your bench press,
mm,
your squats, and I think your deadlifts. Not a
mm.
massive, not a super pro weightlifter, so don't quote me on this. I'm still learning.
Nah, bro. Zoe's on that
But
grind, bro.
I'm still learning.
uh,
But weightlifting is really good to help like your bones and your muscles and to just carry out like day-to-day movements. I feel like it's just great for longevity. I feel like Eddie can
yeah.
probably provide way more
Yeah,
context to this
Eddie
because
definitely
he's been on
definitely
his
definitely
journey for way
can
longer.
deep dive. Eddie can definitely deep dive a lot more, but yeah, it's obviously it's kind of common knowledge that like we lose strength as we get older, and so we require um, kind of grip strength in order. Like I think it's quite common for old people that they kind of don't they have the stability because they're like if you don't if you don't lift over the course of your life, then you just gradually get weaker, and so a lot of old people they kind of like fall because they just don't have like the strength in their bones to kind of like keep them up as they kind of get older. Yeah.
100%. And I feel like my perception of like weightlifting kind of changes as well. Like back then
Mm-hmm.
it was like, oh, because in order to like recomp your body, you needed to like build more muscle, you need to like weightlift. But I feel like now, since I started running and I've kind of started bouldering, I'm still like an amateur
Mm-hmm.
climber. Like I
Mm-hmm.
started climbing maybe for 6 months. Thanks, shout out
She's
to
on the
Carol
up,
for
bro. She's on the
inviting me.
up, bro. Carol's
Carol
got the
is
Carol
cute, my
boulders.
guy.
Zoe's gonna be Zoe boulders soon, man. Like you just gotta watch out. Like you know, she's on the up. She's on the up.
Watch
Yeah.
this space, I guess.
Watch this space,
But
man. We're waiting for the outfit of the day, day in the life of a software engineer content,
maybe it'll
man.
come once I actually get time and equipment to film.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get that
that's fair.
going.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
Okay.
I think now like weightlifting is more of like to improve my performance in all these other sports. So like to be a better runner, you need to like
Mhm.
train like your whole body as well, like a good core. Oh, Pilates gives you an amazing core. I'm sorry if everything's all over the place. I'm just thinking, saying things as they
Nice
come.
calm, bro.
But
Spit it
Pilates
out.
has built like my core, so I feel like shout out to that. I feel like because of that, I'm able to like at least
Mm,
stand up straight and like climb without like my body just concaving in.
mm.
So that's really good for that.
Bro, I
Like
need
for
to go to a
climbing, it's like
class.
you need so much like
Mm,
backs. Oh yeah,
mm.
we should definitely go for a Pilates class
Bro,
together.
I
Like
like
you will be
have literally,
humbled.
bro. I've literally like had the membership, and it's like charging me like $35 a week, and I literally have not been to one single class. And it's like I think it's like I've already paid for like 3 cycles. I'm like, all right, just go once,
We
check it
gotta
out,
start
see how it
making it
goes.
worth.
Yeah,
I
bro.
think that's also what motivates me is because like the like our gym membership, like the system is unlimited classes. So I'm like, I've got to make the most of my money. So I gotta
Mm,
like maximize
mm.
all the classes I can go to.
That's that type
Um,
A, bro.
it is, but it's okay. We're
Yeah.
chilling.
No, we
But
love it. We love it. Yeah.
but yeah, and like I guess like weightlifting now is more to like improve my performance and like the other sports that I do. So that's like running and
Mm,
climbing at the moment,
hmm
which is nice.
hmm Okay.
But health and wellness is an investment, so it
Yeah.
is quite expensive at the end of the day.
Health is
But
wealth, baby. Health is wealth.
health as well. Health
That's
as
it.
well. It's something
That's
I'm
it.
quite willingly spend my money on. So
Okay.
yeah.
Let's pull it back. What are the kind of goals moving forward for 2025 in terms of fitness for you?
Ooh, I feel like at the start of the year, it stemmed from a place more of like, I want to try new things because
Hmm
I think I was feeling a bit stagnant in like in terms of what I was
Mm.
doing. So I
Yeah.
think how my fitness routine has evolved over the years, like COVID was a bit rough. I did not work
mm.
out a lot during COVID and until like towards the end of
Yeah.
it where I started doing like home workouts and like
Uh-huh.
Pilates style, like I think there's like just YouTube videos. I actually really
Yeah.
enjoyed those for like work from home or like just at home
Yeah.
workouts. But
Okay.
since moving back to Australia and like starting
Mm.
full-time work and having new routines,
Yeah.
consistency, like when I was like in my early 20s, building consistency, my fitness routine was my biggest goal. Like I didn't really care what I did. I
Mm.
just want to make sure like I got movement in like a couple times a week.
Right. Right.
But
Okay.
then over the next 2 years, I felt like I've built consistency, but I was just doing the same thing. So that
Mm,
started off with like, I think I did ClassPass for a bit to like try out which sort of workouts like I enjoyed. And then I
mhm,
stuck
mhm.
to Rumble because like the gym, like the style,
And
and
your
I felt like,
friends. Yeah.
and my friends, I felt like boxing was like a good workout where I felt like it was a cardio workout, but it wasn't
Mhm.
just leg focused because I felt like cardio is very leg focused, and I
Yeah.
felt like it was really good expenditure of my energy, especially after like a work from home day. So I really enjoyed that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it incorporated weights as well. So in a way that like wasn't too overwhelming. It was like free
Yeah.
weights, and it was like you could go at your own pace
Mhm,
within the
mhm.
circuits, obviously.
Yeah.
And it just like rebuilt like my confidence like going to the gym. But then it was like,
Mm,
oh, do I like which gym do I go to? Like I kind of want to go
mhm,
one in the city close to work. I kind of want to one that was closer to home, and I was like tossing it up.
mm.
Nothing really appealed to me. But I
Yeah.
feel like in the last 2 years, a lot of gyms in Sydney has like popped off, and I was like, oh my god, like this is
Mm.
something I really want to go to. And
Yeah.
I think some gyms have really nailed the whole issue that
Mm,
I have been having with fitness,
mhm.
where like I actually like a large variety in my exercise. Like I don't like to just do
Okay.
weightlifting. I don't like to just do Pilates. I don't like to just run. I like a
Yeah.
good mix of like all of it
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
the weeks or the
Yeah.
months or whatever.
Bit of
And I
everything.
feel like,
She
yeah,
hybrid
and
as
it's
well,
kind of,
bro. Like, don't
I
listen to her,
just get
bro.
bored
She trying,
easily.
stop trying to frame you being hybrid, bro. This girl's a real hybrid here,
I
man.
just get bored easily. I just have issues. But
Yeah. Okay.
a lot of gyms now, they do like a like one membership, but they offer like a lot of different classes within that. And
Yeah.
with running, it's like you kind of just do on the side with your friends, which I really enjoy.
Mm. Yeah.
And it's just like kind of built a new more holistic sort of approach to like fitness. I'm not specifically training for anything. I just want to get
Hmm.
better at like what I'm currently doing.
Everything.
So at the
Yeah.
start of the year, it was just to like try new things to
Yeah.
break out of that routine because I was getting bored of like exercising. I guess to be super clear, like I did my boxing classes for like maybe 2 years, build a good community from
Hmm.
it, and I was like, oh, I was ready to
Yeah.
like graduate that section and like do something
Mm.
new. So this
Hmm.
year I tried out running, I tried out bouldering, I
Hmm.
guess hiking. And that's not really a
Mm.
sport, but like
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm.
Um, and then I think now it's just building up on that and make sure like I'm actually now that I've tried it out. I've bought the
Hmm.
shoes. I've invested in the sport. It's
Mm.
just to continue and
Nike
improve it
Vomero
on
18s,
that.
baby. Let's go.
And the Sniggies, the Butora
The
Sniggies
Sala,
for
she's
your
got the
entry.
Salamans as well.
I've got the
She got all
Solomons
the
too.
gear. That's it. We
Spent
love it.
way
We
too
love
much money on fitness and hobbies this year. Maybe we'll do tennis. I enjoy
it.
pickleball too. So when I'm back in KL, I do
Let's
enjoy
go,
playing
man. We're
pickleball.
gonna go to the pickleball club. That's the one thing we haven't ticked off yet.
My friends here love pickleball, but I feel like people in
Okay.
Australia love tennis and they just call pickleball pleb
Mm,
tennis, and I get roasted
okay.
all the
It's
time.
fine, bro. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Eddie said he's down to clown, man. So wait till
All
Eddie gets
right, all
back. We'll
right.
we'll we'll, we'll bring the crew together for a pickleball sesh. No, I'm
Because
down. I'm
I
down.
did
Bro,
tennis
actually, I
lessons
have.
like
You go. You go.
two
You go.
summers ago, but I feel
Mhm.
like I'm back to ground zero and I need more
Mm,
lessons.
that's fair. That's fair. I actually know like two guys I used to do Muay Thai with. They run a pickleball, like club. So yeah, it's actually like pretty close to mine. So we'll set it up once Eddie's back.
Let's do it. Site
Let's
quest
do it.
number 3678824.
Side quest number 5,000, bro.
Dude, dead ass. It's
Our
like
group
I'm
is
down.
just the best at fucking side quests, man.
I know. It's like we full send
Mm,
everything. I freaking love it.
that's it. We are full send.
Um, I know. Outdoor climbing is a bit out of my reach right now, but I
Mm,
would hike. I would do
baby
the
steps.
hike to the outdoor climb, and
Mm.
I would help. I would belay them to outdoor climb. So yeah, I don't know if I
I
would climb,
I
but
can
yeah,
come along, but like I'm only gonna be like filming content, so like,
that's fair. That's fair. You can pack the food.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I don't know if
I
I'm
would
quite ready
pick up
for.
like either tennis
Mhm.
or pickleball. Oh,
Mm.
I've also tried out golf. One of my other friends
Yeah,
also brought me to the golf course.
yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing, but when
Ultimate hybrid
you hit it,
athlete.
it is
Mm.
so satisfying. But if you
Yeah.
spread yourself too thin, I feel
Wait,
like you're
at the
not gonna be
driving
good.
range? You're talking about the driving
I went
range
to a
or?
course. I went to the course, so I did
Oh, okay.
18 holes, but it took us
Ooh,
forever.
yeah, okay.
Forever. I
Bro, you're talking
sucked. Like the
hours, bro. We're talking hours for golf.
dude, but it was really fun. Like when you got a good hit, I had no idea how I did it, but it was really satisfying.
Okay, okay,
So
that's
I
fair.
feel like golf and tennis, you need lessons to be better.
Mm. Hmm.
Anything you basically need consistency to build up on your
Yeah,
skills,
that's
which is
how I feel
probably what I
about.
want to focus on in the
Mm,
latter half of the year.
that's
Sorry,
fair.
you may
That's
go.
how. No, I was just saying. That's how I feel about like badminton, bro. Like just smashing the shuttlecock is actually hella satisfying, man. Like you don't really think about it, but like until I actually played badminton, I was like, dude. When I watched it, I was like, oh, like, dude, this is so boring. But actually, it's really quite fun to play. So yeah,
No, I love that. Are you gonna take on badminton as part of your hybrid athlete
yeah, bro. Badminton's part of.
arena?
It's already there, man. It's on the Strava. Like I'm just collecting more. So
We
yeah.
love it. So what are your goals? How have your goals started out at the start of 2025 and how are they gonna evolve?
Yeah, I guess like the main goal for me was to run a half this year. Obviously, that didn't happen, and we're building back to it. And so that's probably going to be a goal that's going to be pushed until Hocker next year. Um, but I think I want to maybe not. I don't think I'll do a triathlon this year, but I do want to do like a Olympic level triathlon. So yeah, I think
What's an
that's like
Olympic level triathlon?
1.5k swim, um, 20k. Is it 20k? I might be wrong. M can correct it, but I think it's like 20k bike ride and then 10k run, which I think is like, within reach. Like I feel like I could do it. So, yeah.
I definitely think you could do it.
Yeah. It's in the works. It's in the works, bro. So, yeah.
No, because I feel like the hard part is starting. Once you've started, you build the
Mm,
consistency. It's
mm,
just a matter of like trusting the process
mm,
and time.
mm.
And there are gonna be
And then
days where you're
combat.
like, I don't really want to do this, but it's
Mm,
just I feel like that's why having friends and accountability
mm,
partners or like just to make sure like you actually do what you're meant to do. So City
mm.
to Surf is in August. I have not ran in a while.
It's all right. We're
So
all gonna be
get
there,
back to
man.
Sydney.
There for the
I can
vibes,
get my
man.
ass back onto the big run.
Mate, you're gonna be double send, bro. Queenstown landed, next day city to surf.
Oh my
Bloody
God. We're
busy,
going
bro.
snowboarding the week
That's it.
before
6 days of skiing,
City to
straight
Surf.
onto city to surf.
I
Yeah.
think we're doing 4 days. 4 out of 7 days we're gonna
4 days?
skiing.
Okay,
But
okay. Still gonna
yes.
be packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I guess we'll wrap up. Should we wrap up for this week's episode?
100%. This is good
All right.
chat.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for listening to episode 4 of Late Night Hot Pot. We do have this is going to be the situation for the next couple of weeks. Just going to be doing it virtual because Zoe's in Malaysia and Eddie's in the States. But yeah, hopefully we'll have Eddie on for the next one, but we'll see because there's a time difference and it's kind of not the best. But yeah, still no hot pot yet, but it's in the works. So
Fun fact, this is the first time we're actually doing our podcast at night.
this is the only time late night, but we're missing the hot pot section still.
We'll get a hot pot at some point.
That's it. That's it. Alrighty. Okay, cool. That's all for today, and we will see you next time. Oh, give us a share, subscribe, like, tell your aunties, your uncles, bro, or your cousins. Like, let us know, bro. Late night hot pot to the moon. So, all right, that's all for today.
Thanks for
Peace.
listening.
Bye.